Okay, let's get started this. So I have turned on my microphone all the time. It has a hissing sound whenever I just turn it on because my microphone is extremely loud. So maybe I'm going to decrease it a little bit. Okay, so it's not full, but it max probably very low. Okay, let's continue. I'm going to add this weapon for my Skyrim mod. It's a new addition. It's FNMNC. Yep, FNC using the 556 same caliber with the M4 556 NATO. This is going to be fun and the sound will be accurate as well, and already downloaded from the gaming community, especially for the modding community as well. It's going to be great, but I think it's very easy for this, just repositioning or rotating, establishing its proper position for first person, I believe. First person. This first person is going to be have to be precisely on the middle or the center of the camera. Okay, the next is I'm going to open the creation kit, but maybe next time I'm going to show my old file for custom or sprite animation. It's not actually a sprite, but I think it's 2D sprite. I mean 3D sprite. It's supposed to be 2-dimension sprites on the animation texture, but I just figure out how to make properly in Blender Game Engine is making 3D sprite. I think it's called a particle. This is particle explosion. No, not this one. It's the actual particle. And this is the oldest version, I think it's from the ice particle, and I just do it for testing purpose. It does work for it's let's see the actual particle is, and well, let's see. It's supposed to be has physics, I think it's rigid body. Yeah, this is for the explosion. Maybe let's just start with maybe the most complete version. The replace mesh. It's called the replace mesh. It has mesh. You can see there's plenty of mesh. And its own UV coordinates. Using the script for This is the script. So the object has its own script to change its mesh depending by the frame, and has its own animation frame with using the script. So I can spawn it multiple times. This one, if I'm missing. There it goes. This is the only way to use sprite. It's not 2D sprite, but it's 3D sprite within this game engine, the only supported version, because I don't have any proper script for independent frame to be works on its own UV, because if the same object is just spawning, just follow the previous one. If there's a properties there, it's continuing until it dies. And also the script for deletion as well, I understand. Objects, these end objects, like frame 23 will be remove himself. So this is not a 2D sprite, but 3D sprite, because it's replacing mesh. As you can see, the latency on the GPU is kind of weird, maybe my hardware is increasing. And then it's kind of late, weird, and then this fluctuation. Maybe because I'm live streaming, I don't know. There's a particle, I think, sprites. I think it's called 3D sprite rather than just 2D sprite. The 2D sprite I already explained yesterday. It's called UV animate suggest. This is the actual 2D sprite. It's moving, controlling by the action and the node editing, but sadly it cannot spawn in multiple objects. It will follow us the same objects. So I have to add motion here. It's going up. I think already live streaming yesterday. Because it's controlled by this same node, so it doesn't start, or the frame doesn't start from the beginning, even though it has its own action editing. So you can see it's followed the latest update within the action. It's not looping actually, no, it's not. It's not looping. If we just uncheck this one, it will not looping. You can see static, but sadly it will be updated with the new objects, because this node following the animation shaky, I believe, or just mass. So I just changed this color, became animated. It can be used constant for frame by frame. You can figure out how it works for the actual 2D sprite, so from the second frame will be the next image, the next image, the next image will be added. So key here and is converted to constant. So I can make it constant as well. So this is the actual same as 2D sprite. Yeah, that is the same method of I think it's only one object, you cannot be using multiple objects controlled by the node. That's the efficiency in the render game engines, but there is some proper sprites, UV coordinates, some of them using the script as well, but it doesn't use any script for this one. They change the image and the location depending on this, but somehow the new object, if I spawn it, the entire object will be changed. Okay, let's go to the next scope. This is very tricky. I'm going to close here. Close the blender. So I'm testing, it's still in progress actually, but I think it's doable and it is possible how to create the module flash. So as you can see here, this animation is looping. By default, it's actually not for preview. Actually, the in-game itself is looping like this. So after we figure out it's not looping, I already opened the creation kit. There is some sort of things in if scope to be added. So I try open another file, which is the explosion of this fireball. This fireball has properties within its animation, but I still want to figure out. It takes time for this to be works properly. And there is something like this one. This loop start frame is 0, and I'm going to learn about this one, this block text modifier, because in the creation kit it is some text modifier which is start frame without any loop properties in creation kit previewer. So I'm going to change, I'm going to change this projectile into non-loop, and then I'm going to add animation, spawn the objects, and then animation start and then stop and become static, just like the explosion. But it's very tricky how to replace, because this projectile of this bullet is moving away. And then the module flash, let's say this spinning is the module flash, and I'm going to start it as a non-loop animation. The animation is not spinning like this, but rather than rescale. So it will be bigger scale, and then smalling, and scale down into the small size, and then become static. even though the projectile was moving away to the left, and then possibly the muzzle flash has to be moved to the right, and this is very tricky on the positioning depending on the gun barrel is located. Very tricky and depend on the speed of the bullets. So I'm going to open the creation kit right now. It takes time. Let's find my own projectile 760. Or maybe the explosion first, because that's the example I think it's next from. And I'm going to open it. It takes time to load this entire game. Sorry, it takes time. Okay. So this is the example of the original file. So if I right click it and preview it and play the animation, you see the explosion. This is the vanilla. And this is not loop. This is what I'm looking for. This is exactly what I'm looking for muzzle flash. This is the animation mode. I think it's text on the last time in the scope. If I just figure out this and the animation is not loading, unlike the explosion, unlike in the projectile itself. Projectile is still looping. Sorry, it's a preview. So you can see that it will be spinning. As you can see, it's spinning. And there is no animation here. There is no text on it. I think it doesn't require any text on the animation. That's where I want to add it, just like the explosion. And that's require more time to figure out. It's not as easy as I thought. I was planning to create the animation for the muzzle flash on the animation file. It's like in the bolt action rifle in my Mosinagat mod. But that is also very tricky on the exporting the KF file on the Skyrim animation file. Also for the XML editing as well. It's very tricky, it takes time, sometimes you miss something. Also, this is a very old project. I don't even quite remember it yet, but sometimes I do remember. Okay, that is for progress today. Just very short streaming. I'm not sure this is the last streaming of this week. Probably tomorrow I'm not live streaming. I'm going to figure out, I'm going to fix all the glitch to make it very good mods, so the community will be respected and quite enjoy for my mods. Okay, and see you next time, maybe next week, not tomorrow, and goodbye.